Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to another IELTS journey with Fabi, where we talk about everything and anything IELTS test. Woohoo! All right, so cool. All right, okay. So today we have a special guest. Okay, guys. So today we're gonna be talking to Hector. Okay, so Hector was my student. Okay, and he succeeded. He managed to get the score he needed on the IELTS test. Okay, I'm going to invite Hector in. Let me find Hector here. So Hector, there you go. Hello, finally. How are you, man?
Hi, Fabi. Thanks for inviting me to the live.
Cool. Thank you, man. How are you?
Everything goes well.
Cool.
After I did the English test, it was already a couple of years ago. So now it's everything settled. Like I finally put my head over the water. So I already an Australian citizen. I've been working in social work as 4 years and a half, and now I am a senior social worker. So
Okay. Hold the horses. I'm gonna ask you all this. Okay. Oh my God, you're very excited. Okay. Let's go slowly. Oh my God, I'm so happy. You're a citizen already. Okay. No, wait. Wait. Okay, first of all, people don't know you. I know you very well, but people don't know you. So can you tell me your name, your age, if you're comfortable, what you do, where you're from, and where you are right now?
My name is Hector Lopez. I'm originally from Mexico. I've been in Australia for the last 11 years. I think 12 this November, so it's been a while. I studied social work from scratch in Brisbane. I was a journalist in Mexico, so I started everything from zero. I studied around 6 years, and then that's when I did the IELTS. I'm 39. I just got married last year, and what else? I'm a social worker. I'm working in Ipswich, working with families, and I tried to do the IELTS because that was the request, and it was mandatory when I was doing my bachelor degree. So I did my bachelor degree in the QET for social work. So I had to do the 7 academic in IELTS in order to validate what I was doing as a social worker in Australia. So that's why I had to do it in order, and then in addition with the experience, I don't know, like many things they requested, but the main thing it was the English, and I had to do the IELTS 13 times.
13
so that's
times.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
13 times, man.
Oh
my God.
So every time, that's why I place myself to talk, because definitely it's not often that you see somebody to do it that many times. I think I've seen more like at 17, but it's just in the, like in internet, where they are. So now I'm I'm the one who did it 13 times.
Okay. Let's go back a little bit. And I'm gonna go back to that later. Okay, so you arrived. You were a journalist in Mexico, and then you came here, and you decided to be a social worker.
Yeah.
And you went to uni, right? Here.
Yeah.
Okay, you went to uni, and then at what did you have to take the IELTS test to get into uni, or no?
Yes, I had to do the IELTS test to uni, but I think I had to score 6.
It was easy for you.
So yeah, I could manage to, or 5.5. I can't remember anymore. Yeah, it was low. I think it was 5.5.
5.5. Okay. And then after you finished uni, you needed to do the test to get the residency, right?
Yes.
That's when I helped you. And then, so to get to uni, the score was lower. Then to get the residency, it was higher.
Yeah. So when I came to Australia, I had a little bit of English, not much, but I studied just 4 months in Langport, which is a school in Brisbane City, and then I studied that's when I had to do the IELTS. So it was not academic, 5.5. It was writing. It was like 10 years ago already, so it was very different. It was a lot of people in just one room, like maybe 300 people in a room. So very different from how it is now. And then that's when I joined the TAFE. I did the TAFE for 2 years, and it was just direct pass to the uni. So I didn't have to do the IELTS there. Had to do before.
Okay. Yeah. And then after being here for a long time, then you had to do the test.
Yeah.
And you needed 7 in each part, right?
Yeah, I needed 7 in each one academic. So I was already working as a social worker. And when I started to go with you, because it was Judith, a teacher that I also met in Langford, she suggested to you, because she already helped me to do 7 IELTS. So with her, it was 7 IELTS, and I just managed, the writing was my worst part. So everything was well in the other bands, but writing was the ones that I couldn't do it. And it was 6 from her, was 6, 6, 6, 6. And then the final, the 7, 6.5. So when I said, that's it, I don't want to do it anymore. I think with 6.5 should be enough. But yeah, it wasn't enough. So, and then she told me, no, I cannot help you anymore. Like when you need somebody that is from another country, like English is a second language, and it could relate a little bit the experience, because that's what I needed as well, to do like something different, because she couldn't understand what we going through.
Yes. Yes. So you had private classes, right?
And IELTS.
Yes.
Yeah, the first 7, yeah, with Judith.
Private classes, yeah, private classes. And she's an examiner, right?
Yes, she's an
examiner.
She's an examiner for IELTS.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
In India, she was.
Yes. And then, so you studied with her for how, do you remember how long you were studying with her
I
for?
think it was like a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yeah.
And 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
In writing.
Until I got the 6.5. So that's what she told me. Like usually to get the even 0.5 of difference is minimum 6 months of work. So maybe that's what I could do different now, to have like a more time to work and to have patience and not do the exam just for doing it. I know that was because of the pressure. There is a lot of pressure, at least in here in Australia, I think everywhere, like people from Mexico that are seeing us, from Ecuador, like I need to go, I need to get out. And that's why I need to study the IELTS so that I can be accepted at that uni or another country. So you put a lot of pressure. So that's why it was very difficult for me, because I put a lot of pressure. And that was something that you helped me a little bit. And I also had to go to psychologist. So that I can put like everything down, because it was like I feel like I was doing like a boxing, like I was going to do a fight.
I was a coach, not a teacher.
Exactly. I was doing like I thought in the morning of every exam, I was doing like putting the music, all volume, a lot of adrenaline, energy. But at the end, that's because I put a lot of pressure on myself. I couldn't perform on the time, and I wasn't like doing it simple and doing it like how I could do it when I was doing it in my home. Because you told me many times, you are a 7, you can do it at 7, but the point is to replicate it in the exam. And because of the pressure that we put, we cannot do it.
Yeah. And one thing, Hector, one of the reasons I really wanted to talk to you is because you've done the test so many times, right? And I do feel that people who do the test and they don't succeed, the confidence goes down.
Yeah.
And that say, okay, if you haven't done the test yet, you don't know if you're going to pass or not, right? But after you've done and you see you can't pass, then your confidence goes down. And then you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? And you did so many times, right?
Yeah. It is really frustrated, so frustrated. I understand a lot of people, even if they want to contact me, that's totally fine. It's just to vent, because it's just very frustrating. There's nothing to do. I mean, you know that you are capable of doing it. You know that you can do it. But it's about the preparation. As more that you prepare, the more that you can see a very familiar question or like a topic that you are confident with. And that's like, okay, that's the time that now I'm going to perform, because I've done it many times. But it's because it's just rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. And of course it's frustrating, but if you have that motivation, or if you are like a very sure that you want to do that, you're going to do it.
I agree.
For me, it was like a little easy, because I had to do my bachelor's, and I spent more than $100,000 in the bachelor, being an international student. So it was like, if I do it 10 times, 15 times, it's going to be what, $5,000? And I already spent 100. So it's like, that's fine. I'm going to keep working. I was doing a lot of jobs, cleaning. So it's like, I can do it.
to pay for your IELTS tests.
Yes. But even I was already working as a social worker when I was at the end, and even my manager, she was very nice, and she even sent a letter to the IELTS, like a three letters long, saying that she is capable of doing it. Like, I can see that you can perform in English. Like, I can see it. Like, you are really well with the clients. You're doing very well, very good job. Just in the exam, I cannot perform it. And obviously, it was impacting also my job. So I had like just a few months left in my visa. So that's why it was a lot of pressure. Because if I wouldn't be able to do it, I would be out of Australia. And all that 100,000 was for nothing. And after 8-9 years, working and working and working
much
hard.
Investment.
Yeah. And just for 0.5, because then when I started with you, it was, everything was 6.5. I already had 9s in listening. That was my best one. Reading was 8.5. So everything was high.
Before me was 666, and then we started working together. You went to 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. And 6.5. And what I already checked our messages was 6 months. Since I started with you, it was December, and then I passed in June.
So it was 6 months. And then we started working together, and then you only got 6.5 after that?
Yeah.
Okay, 6.5. And then so do you know exactly how much money you spent? Have you ever done the math?
In
on
the
IELTS test? Yeah.
I think it was, Larissa is saying it was like a $5,000. Yeah, because I think it was like I don't know how much it is right now.
About
I don't know if people can help us.
now.
500.
Almost 500, yeah.
It was like a 450, 400. So imagine that.
Yeah, I think it was like 430 in the past, like 430, 450.
Yeah, maybe the first 6 was 330, like because it's been so long. It was between 2020 and 2022.
Yes.
3 years ago.
So it was around COVID time, right?
Yes, after COVID. Yeah. So that's why, I think it was around, maybe I can say 6,000 because I had to spend also a lot of resources. E2 language was really good for me. With you as well, private classes. I think, I can't remember if I see you once or twice per week.
I think it was once a week. Maybe I think it was once a week. Yeah. But Hector, what do you think was the main difference then? Why do you think that you only got a 6 and then you got 6.5 and then you managed to get a 7? What was different, do you think, about my method itself?
During the process, I think that it was like getting having a good plan in terms of the writing, just to have the process of what to do, how to perform in both writings for the academic. And then it was, then I think we focused on English, just to improve a few of the things that I didn't know, that I could improve in terms of future, verb, what is the name? I already can't remember anymore, like phrase and verb.
Your main problem were tenses and prepositions, remember?
Prepositions, And I remember that make a lot of difference as well, the prepositions, like more words to talk. So we started from IELTS, then English, and then it was just more mental. So for me, that was really good, beneficial, or very beneficial. Like you told me, just relax, don't take it as a big thing. Then I went to the psychologist, and after a couple of sessions, it was also making a plan that is just like, it's not a big deal. It's just like just try to do it as another practice that you do it at home. Like it's the thing. So don't get it high. Don't just do it. Try to be clear, simple, and don't overthink it. Because of my background as a journalist, I focus on the topic. So if you give me a topic of environment, I try to make it very good for your eyes, because I was working in radio and in newspaper. So the point in IELTS is not the topic; it's about the English. So that's why for me
it's the really topic, but also English.
It's both. So it was really hard because I didn't have time to do it. So that was my main issue. Not because I didn't know English. It was more about like that specific exam for me. It caused me a lot of problems. So I had to change also different places. I went to City. I went to UQ. I went to Sunshine Coast. I went to the Gold Coast. So also like to shake it as well, to put my mind. Yeah. Everybody knew me. I have a pass of IELTS. 13 times that I had to do it. But it was about like just relax, not a big deal. just breathe. I think at the time I had to do had to do all the exam, all the topics.
Mm-hmm.
I think you don't have to do that anymore,
Now,
right? Like you can.
nowadays you have the one skill retake. So if you do the IELTS test, if you don't pass one part, you can redo within 60 days. You have to pay, of course, but then, and most of my students have been saying that it's quite useful because they go there and they just do one part. So
Yeah.
there's not so much pressure anymore.
That would be perfect for me because it was just the writing. The other was I was doing 8s and 9s.
I know.
So
I
then of
know.
course after, and the writing is the last one. So it is like a very demanding that you already have to perform because I had to perform each time doing the 7. So I had to still do it well.
Mm-hmm.
The reading was a little bit harder and then listening. So you arrive 2 hours later to do the writing. You're like, already, very tired.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So it's that let's do it. And sometimes I used to write like a thing, like a words that I need to use, but they take the paper away. So I
They give
just
you a new one.
many
Yeah, no.
strategies. For me, the suggestion is just prepare, be patient, and just prepare. But you also care about um, the practical way. I mean, the IELTS or English, and also the mind. Just the mental is the most important. I remember even in here studying, and even once I just hit myself to the wall. So frustrated I was. Even my wife now, she was like, "What are you doing?" Like, but I was so frustrated. I didn't know what else to do. Why it was my fault, and because of me, she also would need to leave Australia. So it was like the pressure. She didn't put pressure. She was really nice with me, but it's just me. Like you put pressure on yourself. It's just too much. Everything comes to that. All your life depends on that exam. I think many people can understand, or maybe they feel like that. But
Exactly. And that's why I contacted you. Yes.
trust in the process, try to study, try to practice, be consistent and disciplined, but at the same time be kind with yourself and just keep trying. And yeah, I met even many people that it's just 2-3 times and that's it. I don't want any more. That's the worst. And they really, you see like depression, anxiety. I mean, I'm a social worker, so I focus on that, on the mental health side, and how everything can unravel just for one moment. So obviously, it is important, but it's not like your life is not a
Yes. And those people that you say that are trying and are almost giving up, how are they studying? What do you think they're doing wrong?
no. I think it's I don't think they're doing wrong. It's just about just keep trusting in the process and keep studying more, studying, practicing. Like, like even in some moment that is like a automatic for you. Like
That's what I try to get my students to do. Like the main thing, Hector, and that's what I tried with you. I was going over the messages I
me
sent you,
too.
and lots of messages like, "This is your plan. This is what you have to do. I'm gonna make you a plan." And I was really like, "Oh my god, I didn't remember that." But by looking at the messages, I sent you lots of files where we had a plan. This is how you're gonna do it. What you're gonna do. Because recently a student finally got, she's also a social worker, and she finally got her 7. And then she said, Fabi, I sat down and I could hear you in my head saying, do this, do that, do this. And I did it and I got the 7. And I was like, yes, it's simple. It's a simple process.
Yeah, I mean it is simple, but you don't know until it is memory. What is the name? Like
Second
it's
nature.
automatic.
Second nature. You just go, you
Second
sit down, and
nature.
you do it. That's what I try. And that because of you also in my course now, I have more English prepositions. There is one lesson just on prepositions because I remember you sent me a message. You said, Fabi, I finally got the 7, and prepositions really helped me.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it just depends what is the weak point of each person. For example, now Gopinath, really Tati, she is writing saying that has an exam tomorrow. So the tips would be like just focus today in what are your weak points.
Yes, weakness.
Just practice. If it's listening, if it's writing, reading, just practicing everything. And maybe 7, 8 p.m. just stop it. Don't do it anymore.
Don't study the day before the test. I always say that.
Don't study before the test. It's just what it is. It is in the morning as well. Just try to relax. Just to try to focus on what are the maybe in the morning I used to like read it, what are the topics or the words, keywords that I need to use for my writing, which is my weak point. But also for you, you know what you're lacking. And the main thing is about the confidence. You can do it. Remember, just be there. I can do it. I'm unable to do it. I'll did it in the past. I can do it again. And it's not going to be it's not going to be difficult because I'm capable. So, but it's just keep practicing. But just the main thing that it asks you on just be simple. Simple. Put it the words that the IELTS or the teacher already suggested to do it, and just try to relax. I know that it's hard because it was hard for me.
Yeah, and one thing that I feel most of the time, Hector, especially people who have done the test 1 or 2 times, they come to me and said, Fabi, I need help. I've done 2 times, I didn't pass. And I ask them, did you get feedback? And they say no. What do you think is the importance of feedback?
Feedback from the IELTS from the test or
from the writing, especially.
But from a teacher?
Yes, from an IELTS teacher.
Oh, no, definitely, because it is the writing is very different from, I don't know, an article that you can do at uni than the one that you do in IELTS. So that's why you need the expert part. It is a combination. It definitely needs to go private classes with somebody that knows and get at least now the 6 points so that you can go to the 0.5 or point to increase 1 point that you need in each of the bands. But it's because they've been there before. All these teachers, like you've been there before. You know how it is. Yeah. Like you did as well. That she checks the exam.
Yes.
She knows what they see.
She trained me.
Exactly. They know what they see in the exams. So obviously they are gonna check what you are writing, what you can improve. And obviously it's a human factor. Like even some people say, like, you know, like some theories. Like, oh no, it's because they want us to pay more, or it's because they want to take money from us that we are the migrants. Nah, it's not that. Like, there's people that are capable. We know a lot of test. What is the name? Test takers, test checkers. Like you did.
Examiners. They're the examiners.
We know examiners, and they are very professional. Very professional. Of course, it's different from human to humans because it's a factor of checking. But overall, it is the same. So you just need to be lucky as well. That you have one that is like a saying, oh, I think it's all right. Because that 0.5 could be the difference.
Yeah, I have lots of friends who are examiners, right? I can't be an examiner, but because otherwise I can't be here with you guys, you know. But I have lots of friends who are examiners. And what they tell me is, because they are also teachers, right? So what happens is sometimes they are reading the writing and they're always thinking about, the student should do this, the student has to do that. And I talk to them and I ask, what are people doing wrong? And they tell me, and that's when I try to help you guys. And every time I have a question, I talk to them because, like you said, they're doing a good job. They're just making sure that you are able to go to university, for example.
Yeah.
Or in your case, to be able to be a social worker, you know, and be able to communicate with your clients and everything.
The ones I remember the difference from the last one that I completed and the other 12 that I did, it was, I think, that I finished on time, that I didn't put much. I think it is 250, no? I used to put 320, something like that. So I think the last one was like 255, like very simple. Try to simplify things, not to put too much, not worry about the paragraphs and no. I mean, have my structure, of course, but just try to be simple and to the point and use the words that needs to do, and just also to check that we use the words that they ask you to do it.
Yeah.
And to answer the question that at the end they're asking you. I mean, it sounds very simple, but it's hard because you overthink it. You overthink it and overthink it. So the main thing is just try to be simple, have a big breath, and just focus. Focus on the time, focus on what you need to do, and be very specific in the structure. If you have, it is 1 hour, so just 20 minutes in one, 40 in the other one. If I'm better in the other one, start with the ones that is harder, and then we go to the other one. Or if, for me, it was go to the easy. Just do the easy one. Once you finish the easy one, go to the next one.
So that was your approach. Start with the easy one and then go to the difficult one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I think that's quite personal. Which one to do first? Yeah, it's very personal.
I think at the end also, I think usually it took me more time, the easy one. So it took me like half an hour. So then I focus less time on the other one. So I think the last one, I can't remember very well. I think it was the long one. I started with the long one, and I just like finish it. Like don't check it again, and then go to the next one, and then go back to check. But I think I had time to check this time.
Okay.
That was the difference. But for me, I feel like there's no pressure. You can do it. It's fine. Because if you think in the money, oh, it's 450. No, it's too much. And then 900. You're going to overthink it in your mind. You're going to put more pressure. And then you're going to spend more time and more money. So don't think that is difficult. Of course, it is difficult to get $450 or $500 now. But at the same time, you have done it before. You can do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I do think that it's about, knowing what you're doing. And what do you think of the people who are studying by themselves, Hector, and need a 7? What do you think?
I think there's a lot of resources now in the internet. So that's why people, they don't want to spend more money for what they need to spend. But yeah, definitely I suggest to send at least the writing, writing and speaking. With somebody,
right?
Yeah, at least maybe a couple of times. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Just a couple of times. I remember in the E2 language, I also tried with them. And I also have somebody else that she was in Spain, and she did also like a live, and it was beneficial. So you just pick up the brains of everybody, because you don't know which one is going to work.
Yes.
Or at least for me, because after you get so frustrated after 13 times or 12 times, it's like maybe then it's too much like a noise in the head. Do this and do this, and the other one says a different, the opposite.
Yeah.
So just you stick to one. Like there are different approaches to go to point A to point B. So it's not just one approach. They're different, but just pick one. Or just pick from different people. Just do it in your way.
Yeah.
But listen to the experts. I mean, they've been there. They know for a reason.
Exactly. Yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah. And again, I always tell my students, I have lots of recommendations. Okay. And I say, do this, do that. And then I always tell them, did it work? They say, no. Okay, let's try something else. Because I've been teaching for so many years. I have so many strategies, but then I tell them, oh, this and that. And then they decide what they have to do. And just like with you, I gave you so much information. But I remember that one of the main things was that you had so much information in your head, and it was very difficult to organize later.
Yeah. And you see many things in the internet that things that, or videos in YouTube. Oh, do this in IELTS and you will pass. Like just follow these 5 steps, easy steps, and you will have the 7 or 8 in IELTS. Like, no, it is different for everybody. Maybe just listen to see what they say, but not because of that means that it's a rule, that you must do it.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
It's all about try. Did it work for you? Yes, keep doing. Didn't work for you? Stop. And I liked when you talked about the strengths and weaknesses, because it is very important to know what you're good at and what you're not very good at. That's part of my course.
Yeah.
Decide what you're good at and not so good at. Okay. Just one thing now, I was thinking. So after you met me, how many tests did you do to get the 7?
I think I tried to see it was around 6, definitely. Okay. I will need 6 or 7. Yeah, I can't remember anymore. I think I saw when we were doing was checking the WhatsApp text messages. It was around 5 that I sent you.
But then you got this, and you stayed at a 6.5 for a while, and then you got the 7.
When I started with you, it was 6.
6.
I saw that it was 6. We started in January. I did it in March. It was 6. And then from March to June, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, until I got the 7. Maybe it was like a 4 times the 6.5. It was the most frustrated times because I was just there.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, but it's complicated, but I'm very, very happy that you managed to do it, and you're a citizen already.
Yeah. After that, I think it was July, we submit the papers. It was just a few weeks before I finished my visa. And then in August, I received September, received the permanent residence invitation. So it was like this. So once it is the English, that's it. Everything just went smooth and well. And now could enjoy the
Australian life.
The Australian life. Yeah, but it's more about the resilience, and patience, and trust in the process. I think if I would do it again, I would just study for 6 months because I was under pressure. Even I remember I said to Judith, no, I need to do it now because then I'm going to travel. So you see many things that you don't prioritize on what you need to do. And you need to do that first before you do everything else. So after the 13 times that I did the IELTS, I believe that now I think it's more about the preparation. Just be disciplined, resilience, patience. Look at the weakness, look at your weaknesses, and just ask as many questions as possible as to the experts like you, and just focus on the mental part as well.
Yes,
Because it's just
I know.
patience and process. Patience. It's just patience, and just be disciplined with the preparation.
I'm writing down everything you are saying because I'm gonna say it again later. So many things. Okay.
Sometimes even, I believe that you become as a psychologist as well, and I wanted to appreciate you that because you just listen, and even sometimes it doesn't make sense, but it's just to express what we're feeling because it's frustrating times. It is a very high level of anxiety as well, and without the mental part, you cannot perform because obviously you are pressure, you are worried, you're stressed. So even if you have a good preparation, if your mental side is not ready,
if you're stressed, you might not perform.
You can perform.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So, so you said discipline, prioritize, patience.
Yeah,
Start
and be
early.
yeah.
Start early. Yeah. So just thinking back 2-3 years ago, if you had to do it today, what would you do differently?
Yeah, just prepare for many months.
Okay, in
For maybe
advance.
6 months at least. Lore is writing that it is difficult for her to learn English, and obviously it's easy when they are children. When children they learn, they pick up so quick, and obviously the more that you grow, it's more difficult to get or to learn to get things in the mind. So as more that we age, of course, it is very very difficult. But it's just about adapting, just listening what the people said, how they pronounce things, and it's just keep repeating, practicing. Just keep practicing with put music in English, talk to people in English, see the movies with the subtitles in English, everything in English. So it's just about practicing. It's the same way that we learn Spanish. Or I mean, in my that I learned Spanish, it's just practicing. So yeah, it's gonna take some time for others, but it will happen. So the same with English, or the same with the test. Yeah, just keep practicing. It's just have a plan, like you also gave one to me, and just be disciplined with the process. But just keep doing it in many ways. I was driving and I had the IELTS test. I have or music, or I don't know, people talking about certain topics. It's just the more that you can get, the more. Maybe you get 100 words in your mind and they're going to stick to. Well, maybe that too, they can save your exam. But it's just keep reading, just focus on that goal. If that's your goal, just focus on that. If you, don't give up. If it's in English, just focus on the English. One thing at a time. If you do many things, you cannot be able to do it.
Yes, exactly. And a lot of people say, Hector, that you can get a good score without English. Do you agree with that or no?
I think so, yes. Yeah, I think it depends on the level that you need, because the test is very specific. It's not about like how good is your English in overall. It's just what that you need to perform at that specific questions in that specific time. Of course, you need good English, but you don't have to be an expert in everything, because it doesn't reflect what your English skills really are. I can communicate with people. I can write as well, even much better than some of my Australian friends. Like, to be honest, yeah, in the grammar part. And I always make fun of them. Yeah, I did 13 times the English test, but it's because we have that kind of consistency, and they don't. I'm pretty sure that many English Australian or English speakers, they won't be able to get 7 in IELTS. I'm completely sure.
I know. I agree.
Completely sure.
We can do better.
Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard that you have to be an expert in English. No, just just with the level that you have, just try to answer the questions. Just try to be mindful of what it is in the reading. Just have a strategy. We always say about strategies in the reading, that you pick up the words to know which ones are the ones that are asking you, and find it in the reading, so to make a little bit of sense of what they ask you, so that you can pick the right answer.
Yeah.
And then listening as well, just checking if they try to confuse you, just focus on what you need to
And they try a lot.
Yeah, they try to confuse you. That's why the exam is to confuse. This confuse people. They don't ask you if you are good at English. They can, if they talk to you, you're like, oh yeah, you understand me, I understand you. That's it. Come to Australia. No, it's just about that they have to answer specific questions, and it's just about the exam. Just focus on the exam. But if you already focus on the exam and you're still struggling, just focus on the English.
That's what I think.
If you're still struggling, focus on the mental.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, because I think for me, Hector, it's very easy to get people to get a 6. Very easy. Most people explain the exam, they get a 6. But when it comes to the 7, that's when they need the extra push with English.
Yeah. And maybe some of us, we believe, it's fine. I'm going to do it. Like, I don't need to prepare. Just maybe 2 weeks and that's it. And then you
$500 down the drain.
$5,000.
What can you do with $5,000? Well, go on nice holidays, go to Mexico and back.
I prefer doing IELTS just to help to the IELTS economy.
No. And it's funny that you said that they are people who are trying to help. And guys, more and more, I see the IELTS, IDP, the IELTS people, they have lots of things to help teachers. Because they don't want you guys doing the test 10 times. They want you guys passing the test. Yeah. And I went to an IELTS workshop recently, and they ask you questions before you do the test. They said that 50% of the people who are taking the test didn't study for the test.
50%?
50% of the people. They ask, oh, did you study before? They say no. So 50% of the people are going there and they have no idea what the test is like.
Yeah. No, because nowadays in this society, we need or we want answers now. We want to do it now. Like, if I want this, I'll pay you and I'll need to get it. And it's not, this exam is really challenging. It's up to us. And that's right, Caio. 269. Pressure is a hard skill to deal, especially for exam. Yeah. And it's also if you're not exposed to the kind of exams, like a high pressure exams in your life, or English, that you haven't been exposed to a lot of English in your life. Like, you see a lot of people or Europeans, it's so easy for them sometimes, like, well, I'm not like that. But don't be hard on yourself. Like, it is what it is. Our journey are special and unique. And this is just an opportunity. If I can, I'll do it. If not, maybe this is not the right path for me and just go for another one. But if you really focus your goal on doing it, like, I want to do it, doesn't matter, as many times as possible. You already see somebody that did it 13 times, you're going to do it. You're going to get it eventually. But it's just patience, a lot of resilience, and more patience.
Patience.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just a discipline to keep studying, and everybody's going to get it. And if you have any questions, you have Fabi or maybe somebody else, like a friend that you know that maybe you already did somebody 10 exams. Now, give it to somebody else. Maybe that just to give a fresh kind of perspective as well, or different thing. Go to the psychology. Yeah. It worked for me as well.
It works
because he's another
for everybody. Psychology is very good.
Yeah, send me a message as well. I'm always open. I'm a social worker, so I can understand a little bit of the mental side of the parts. Because for me, was more mental rather than the technique or the skills.
But did you believe you could do it, or you had doubt you could get the 7?
No, definitely doubts. Definitely. No, many times that you believe that this is not for you, that you are stupid. That's why I thought that you're dumb, that this is not, you're never going to get it. It's going to be thousands or many times that you're going to do it. And all the people also, you haven't done it. Like, there's people also mocking, even though that they haven't been through that pathway. So, of course, you have doubts. But the main thing is about, okay, maybe I'm not doing well in this, but I need to work on this or work into something else. So maybe just keep practicing a different way. Or maybe now the mental side of the parts that it worked for me. Just relax one night. One night I just have a bath, just stay in the bath, relax, have a cold cup of wine, just to clear the mind. Meditation as well. You told me also, what is visualization?
Visualization, meditation, yes. I practice that, and I do it with my students too. It's very important.
Yeah, visualization. So whatever it works for everybody, it is different. So it's just about like having that kind of a mental side to also relax and be ready for whatever they ask you, because you already know that you prepared very well in the past.
Yep.
And yeah, that's true. It says about the European people, for them English is easy and clear, but Latin American people face different kind of problems with learning process. Yeah, and it's about the time that you are, the situation that is right now. If you have a lot of pressure, if you need to perform, you have to, I don't know, be for your children, or you have to pay for something back in the country.
Not for yourself sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's not. But if you really want to do it, it doesn't matter how many times, how costly it would be, you're gonna get it. But the point is just to keep studying day and night until you get it, because it's gonna be eventually that is gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, I can't thank you enough. Let me see my questions. I think you answered all my questions. I didn't even have to ask you anything. You answered all my. Let me say you answered all my questions.
No, I think for people that are also messaging us just to be part of it.
You are doing very well. Don't even you read all the messages, reply to them. You should come back next week.
Just include everybody. No, anytime. Like if you need to contact me, just feel free to do it. I don't know if I have the answers. It's just different for everybody.
Yeah. Just the fact that you've been through, like you said, that one of the reasons that the examiner recommended me was because I'm not a native speaker and I did the test.
Yeah.
So it was very nice of her to say, okay, I've helped you and now there isn't much I can do now. Go to Fabi. She's from another country just like you and she did the test just like you. And maybe I feel that maybe people who are not native speakers have a different perspective, especially people who've been through the test.
Yeah, no, definitely. It is a unique perspective depending on where you're from. And now, for example, Larissa is asking, why did you want it so bad? I think it was because I did my bachelor's degree in Australia, and I just needed to validate it was my bachelor's. For me, it doesn't make any sense because that's why I studied. And I studied for 6 years, the certificate, diploma, and then the bachelor. They asked me to validate it with the English exam. So it was just like a kind of a part of the process to complete my bachelor's. So I already studied 6 years, so I just need to prove that I know the language. So, and I know the language, and I know that I know. I can perform in my job. They already hired me during that time.
Yeah, you're already working as a social worker, right?
Yeah. So it was like, no, like I know that I can do it, and if it's a process, well, let's finish it. But it was like many times, and another one's like, no, I can do it. Like I need to finish the process, and I don't like just starting things and never finish it. Like I like to finish what I start. And I know that I could do it, so that's why I think I had to do it many times, because for me it's what, like just one step more of the long process. Like it would be another subject in my bachelor's or another assignment. It's the same. It's just about like they want to make sure that I have the English, and I know that I have it because I've been doing. And I was checking with the examiners or with you, for example, and I was doing 7.5 sometimes in writings.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So I know that I can do it, so now I just need to perform it in the exam.
Yeah, because unfortunately there is the difference, right? That's why with my students, Hector, they cannot do the exam until I say they're ready.
No, and that's totally true. Yeah.
Because you're ready, go. And again, I think that also gives you more confidence.
Yeah, and you can do it, but it's up to you if you want to pay $500 and not getting it, even if you're not ready. That's why it happened to me. Like it was already like 2 or 3 months that I started to study to IELTS, and I did it. And I think Judy told me, no, you need 6 months at least. And no, I need the pressure. I'm under pressure because of the visa, and because it was everything on stake. Like it was the visa, it was staying in Australia, and I've been already here like at that time for 8 years. It was already a long time. So I have already a life in here, friends, place. I mean, renting place, but still. So like starting all over again just for that 0.5. No, I can do it, and it's again and again and again, and that's how life is, no? Because it's about resilience, and if you want something, you get it. And yeah, I mean, it took me a little bit more, 13 times, but there's only that. I think the record is 29 times. I heard once, 29 times. So it doesn't matter how long. For some it takes 1 day, or I don't know, 6 months, or it takes 2 years. But at the end, it's the same. I'm Australian citizen as well as others, and yeah, maybe some are they did it quicker than me, but at the end, it's the same. We did it, so I can say very proud.
Yeah, I think that what I like people to do or to experience is just a more relaxed way to get the test. You know, there is pressure, so much pressure from so many places, but what I try is to get people to do it only once and get relaxed so they can do it and then tick, okay, what do I do next? Because lots of people, just like you, they spoke to the immigration lawyer, they have the job, they have everything, the only thing missing is the score, nothing else.
No, and that's why it's good reflection on what I need to improve. And that's true what you were saying, the special vocabulary. For me, it was like that. It was vocabulary. It just like we can understand or we can talk to somebody in English, but when it is the academic part or in an exam, you don't have that vocabulary to do it. And it is hard because even the English speakers, they don't have the vocabulary to do it. So obviously we have to work extra hard.
Yes.
And sometimes for more because I'm from I'm a Spanish speaker. A lot of words are similar, so sometimes that's why you are doing like Spanglish, and I think
and they know that examiners know that,
and examiners know that as well. So that's why it's just again and again and again, and just get as much information as possible. And now I see that it was beneficial for me for my job because I need to do a lot of writings. And I still using the same techniques and what I learned during that time.
Cool.
I think I need to go back again because even Judy told me, once you finish your IELTS, come back to me and we practice again with the grammar and vocabulary. And I can say that sometimes I have much better grammar than many of my coworkers that are in Australia because of that job. Yeah. So it's going to be a reward. You're going to get what you need. And also it's going to be helpful for your job, for your professional career in the future.
I always tell my students, I'm helping you with the IELTS test, but what I'm telling you to do today will help you in the future. Like you just said, you're still using the techniques to write. That's awesome.
And that's something I learned from my family. If you spend money in education, it's going to be like 3-5 times they're going to give you the money back because it's education. And it's the best investment to do, to educate and to pay in learning. And you're learning while doing the IELTS. Yeah, you have to focus on the exam, but you are also learning English. And it's going to be beneficial in the future. So that's why they ask you to do it.
Yeah, because I've helped some people recently, Hector, and then I helped them get the 6.5. I helped them, but then they weren't studying as much English. Right? And then what happened? They got the job and they didn't stay in the job because their English wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And we worked so hard to get the test, and the person got the visa, got a graduate visa, and then 3 months later couldn't stay in the job because couldn't understand.
Yeah. So it's just like it's an overall, like a holistic approach, we say. It's just to focus and to get as much learning and in the English as possible because it's going to be worth it at the end of the day.
I agree.
So now for everything they told me that I don't know if I try 1 or 2 things, like I already did it 13 times in IELTS, so I can do everything. Whatever, any kind of activity that I do, it's like I did it like once, I can do it again. Like, doesn't matter. I'm slow pacer.
So that's a good thing now. Every time someone comes to you with that challenge, I'll do it because I've done the test 3 times.
Yeah, I done that. I have 13 times, and a lot of my friends say they know me for that as well, because I did it 13 times. So.
Oh, so you're the guy who did the test 13
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I'm so happy that at least you are not upset about it. Like you saw there was a process, but now you're okay with it.
No, I'm from Mexico, and I'm originally from Mexico. But the main thing is to take it with humor. I mean, it's already in the past, and every journey is different for everybody. So it's not about judging or how it's supposed to be. Everybody is different. So don't take it also personal. Like, oh, I've done it 4 times and my friend did it 3. I'm so dumb.
Lots of
No,
comparisons.
don't
Lots of
compare. Don't
comparisons.
compare. It's the worst that you can do. Compare yourself. Don't compare yourself, because that's the worst part, because that's why you put more pressure on yourself, because you have to perform in some way because somebody did it. So it is the worst. It's just about your journey, your way. Doesn't matter how long it takes. At the end, you're gonna be like grateful and very proud of that what you did, because that's something that you couldn't expect in the past. And for me, it didn't. Like, I didn't know that I would be able to do this, or that I have this now. It took me many years, but at the end I did it. So at the end, it's like, okay, this is me, this is my journey, and I did it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have some students who actually say, and when the approach is like this, okay, it's the IELTS test and it's a challenge and I'm gonna go get it, right? And then when they get it, they feel good. But if people see it as an obstacle, then it becomes a bigger problem, I think.
Yeah, if it's an obstacle, definitely, because then you believe that you are not worth it, or that it's another, I don't know, thing to jump, no,
Get over.
to pass,
Get over, yeah.
get over. But yeah, you're gonna do it eventually. So no, help you for. Thank you for helping a lot of students and people like me, Fabi.
It's my mission, man. It's my mission. And I was talking to my therapist this week and I was talking to her. And then she said, Fabi, do you think you can stop helping people with the IELTS test? I said, I don't think so. And I don't know if you know, but I had lots of health challenges in the last 4 years.
Mm.
Yeah, lots of health challenges. And I didn't stop. I'm still here. I'm still doing this. I take a little break. I get better. And then I'm back here again because that's what I do. I cannot. And again, when people come to me, I've done the test so many times, like, I have to do something. I'm like, I have to do something. What can I do for you? And then
Because you think you can do it, that you have done it in the past for so many people like me. So it's like that kind of successful stories for you is also like a success. Like, oh, I did my contribution in some way.
exactly.
I did it, so I can do it again. So it's definitely like a kind of a mission that we have in our lives.
My mission. It is my mission, exactly.
So thanks for that. And yeah, I think it was in it was my mistake that I compared my process with a teen, 18 years old, and when that person passed the exam and I lost it. Yeah, of course. It is very normal, because you see some people and it's like, I can beat you, or it's a lot of competition as well, no, that they teach us. And if she can do it, I can do it. And then you can't, and they did. It's like, what is wrong with me? Why I can't do it, and they do. So it's a lot of you put a lot of self-doubt on yourself. But it's more mental. It's not about the IELTS. It's not about the English. It's more mental, that you are capable, but it's just extra hard. If you need 7 until you get a 7.5, don't stop. Or 8, don't stop until you get it. Is when then you can perform, and it's gonna be easy to do it. And yeah, there's a lot of people, even my friends that I started in English, they did it same quick. Others they couldn't get to that point. So it just depends. Like sometimes I believe that they have a good English and they couldn't do it. Like one of my friends, he did also TAFE 2 years, bachelor with me, 4 years. He was from Korea. He couldn't pass it. So
how many times did you do the test? Do you know?
I think he did it like 5 times. He didn't do more. Give up.
Back to Korea.
No, I think he was trying to get a job here as a sponsor, as a kitchen hand.
So he studied to be a social worker, and then he became a kitchen hand just to get the sponsor because he couldn't get the score.
He couldn't get the score, and he didn't answer to me because I think he was, I don't know if jealous of me, or saying like, why you did it and then I didn't do it, so he just isolated himself. So it is hard. It could be like a life-threatening thing
It
if
is.
you don't get it. But it's just about just keep preparing, be nice with yourself, and just keep always checking on you, because that's the main thing about your health, your mind, and your future as well. Somebody wants to take lessons with you, Fabi.
Yeah, the enrollments for my course is open, Laura. Just click on the link in my, type enroll and you can join my course. Yeah, it's still open. It starts on Monday, my new course, Hector.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah. It's
Congrats.
exciting. It's exciting. Very exciting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think different people, different journey.
Sorry, say it again, please.
Different people that come to you, different journey, different skills.
So
So it's interesting.
many. Never done the test. I think I need the test. I need the test next week. I've done 2 times. Like, so many people.
Too
But
many
in the
people.
end, what do? I just tell them, like, all I've learned from you guys. I've learned so much from you too, from my students, so much.
Yeah.
And I keep compiling everything. And I said, okay, that person did that. It worked. Try. Didn't work. Okay, the other person try.
Yeah, and that's the main thing, that you just pick up some brains from everybody, and the same as when you do in IELTS, as we were saying before, just keep listening things, but don't take it as that it has to be that way. It's just to get more information and some advice, and at the end it's going to be up to you. You're going to make up which one is better, and just compare with people, because obviously it's one thing that they just say it, but other is like, it can work for me. So that's why it could be to compare with you. Hey, Fabi, I heard this. Do you think it could be possible, feasible? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Or no.
And then try. And I always tell them, try. Did it work? No. Okay, let's try something else. And that's it. And that's why, Hector, I think it's so important to have someone helping you, someone who's experienced in the IELTS test, of course, helping you with your IELTS journey, I think.
Yeah. And now, Kyle was saying about the interesting story with the South Korean guy. Yeah, I was saying it because it was the same story of myself. Like, he also was international student. He spent also around 100,000 in the TAFE and the QET. He was always with me, like, but he also had like I think the guy that he was living with passed away, and then he was by himself in here, and the family also, they were pressing him. A lot of pressure from South Korea, which I think you know that from South Korea they're really strict.
Yes, some countries, yes. The parents especially. Some parents are very
Parents especially. Like, if you don't, I don't know, you are not married, you don't have kids, so you don't have that kind of amount of money at 30, you are completely useful or useless.
useless.
So,
Yes.
so it's more about the mind, and also that you surround yourself with people that are also positive, that are nice. Because also, I've seen many people that is like, oh, I miss my country, or I want to go back. Hey, if you want to miss it, your mind is gonna be in there, not in here. So you have to focus in here to enjoy what you have.
I always test them. I was like, do you really want the test? I do. Are you sure? Or you want to go back to your country? You have to make a decision. If you really want the test, you get it. But if you think it's better to be in your country, like you just said, then you're not going to get the score.
Exactly. They're not gonna get it, and it's mental. That's my point of all of this. It's more mental than if you study a lot, but you don't want to really want it, you're not gonna get it. Even though that, because in your mind you are still living in another place, so you still have different goals. And this kind of file or this kind of exam, it needs like 100% of you, 110 of all your energy, resources, mental state, everything comes from you. So, and it's a good test as well, because with that you know that you can be able to do many things in the future. Because now I think my confidence also increased.
That's
Because
awesome.
if I did it, I can do it again.
I agree. Man, that's awesome. Okay. Hector, thank you. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Hector. I don't know how to thank you. Thank you. And again, the only thing I have to say, I think you just helped a lot of people today.
Hopefully.
That's it.
Yes.
And you know, and I'm gonna make this and I'm gonna make this video available for a lot of people. Okay, so they can see that it is possible.
Yeah.
Okay, it is possible. We can do it, guys. Thank you, Hector. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Fabi.
babes.
Thanks for
Thank
everything.
you. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
All right. Cool. Yes, guys. So as you can see, yes. So I met Hector like a few years ago, and he succeeded, and that's it, guys. It's all about having support. Okay, and as you know, you can study with me. Someone said, I want to be Fabi's student because just like I helped Hector many years ago, I'm still helping people. And again, Hector spent $5,000 on IELTS tests. My mission is to get you guys to pass the first time you take the test. That's my mission. Okay, so you make the decision. Are you going to do the test? Are you going to pay for the test? Or you can maybe join me, pay for the course, and I can help you. Just like Hector said, start now, do it slowly. Guys, I get lots of messages from people saying, Fabi, I need to take the test next week. What can we do in 1 week? As you could see, Hector said, what I would do, I would start 6 months in advance and do it slowly with a lot of patience, guys. Okay, so if you like to be my student, like some of you already said, today is the day. You have to be my student today. Okay, and all right, to help you guys. If you are from the Americas, South America, okay, the Americas, you can pay in up to 12 times. Because as I said before, and as you could see, I really enjoy doing this and I've done it. I've I've studied for the IELTS test, I've done the IELTS test, I'm a resident in Australia. Everything that Hector did, I did too. And even the IELTS examiner said to him, hey, go to Fabi because, you know, she did it in this way and she will be able to help you more than me. An examiner said that. I think you need help from a person like Fabi. The examiner said that to him. So, and it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. I really enjoy being here with you guys. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go now. If you have any other questions, guys, just send me a message. Bye.